Here's Ikra Velikova, Burkhard Müller still here, Ann-Kathrin Heinz-Schekan, and Iglu F.K. Duran.
Hallo.
Right.
Hello. So I guess not all mics are already on.
I guess so.
Check, check, yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome to have this audience together. Thank you very much. As you can see, we are here on the Web3 and tech stage, and there is this elephant in the room. I guess many people are questioning, what should big brands in the future bet on? Is it the Metaverse? Is it Web3? Is it AI? And I would love to start in here that we start with a short introduction. And yeah, please introduce yourself and tell us, how is your company currently dealing with the topics of AI or the Metaverse? Maybe we start with the women in green.
Is this working?
Yeah.
It's working. Hi, so yeah, I'm Iskra from Kleinanzeigen. Maybe, I hope you have the app on your phone. If not, please download it. Yeah, I'm a head of brand at Kleinanzeigen, so responsible for basically recruiting more people to our site and exciting them about our brand. And as you can imagine, for example, the talk that Burkhard just delivered is very, very relevant for us or for my specific job. But to take a couple of steps back, how Kleinanzeigen started to work with AI, that was a very, very long time ago. So we're talking about, I think, 10 years ago or something, when we started to introduce the first machine learning and AI models to the platform to actually create more safety to our users. So basically started to learn from patterns, started to sort actually user behavior into certain recognition patterns in order to keep our users safe. So in order to recognize actually fraud on site and try to prevent it as much as possible. So basically we actually used AI models long before they were cool. So just when they were, you know, colored text on black background. And we haven't stopped ever since. So basically we are developing our models every single day further in order to become better in that.
Okay, so this means you use AI for security issues as currently. How is it currently?
Not only. So security is one hand side. On the other hand side, we are a platform with a lot of offerings. So we try to cluster what we have for our users in a meaningful way. So basically that they find what they're searching for better and so forth. Yeah.
How are things dealing at Otto?
My name is Ann-Kathrin. I'm responsible for the brand development together with my team at Otto. And yeah, we really try to go the next step with the brand and really make it more relevant for our customers in the future. And for us, it's kind of the same story as for you, because AI has been an integral part of our company for a long time. We have more than 110 colleagues working on AI projects. We have more than 25 developer teams, I think, working on AI. Regarding on-site experience, like aggregated search, like things that we know, that we use every day. And we've also launched our first assistant this July, first shopping assistant.
I didn't use this.
Yeah, we're also looking ahead in that direction. And yeah, just to give you a glimpse.
Ilgi, how about you?
Yeah, so I guess this is not working well.
You have to.
Now, yes, perfect. So my name is Ilgi, and I'm heading up the global strategy at Journee. And you might think that I realize I get a lot of questions today. Okay, you guys are a Metaverse company, right? Well, partially true, because we are actually an AI-born company, and now we do have solutions around immersive computing, immersive web solutions, and we use a lot AI in our processes and customer-facing features. And in my mind, it's not really mutually exclusive. So for the brands, the question is not, oh, should we use immersive web solutions or should we use AI? But it's all about, how to really immerse and give great experiences to your customers. And that's always the starting point for us. And I'm so happy that we are now a leading enterprise immersive web solutions company in this space.
Yeah, that's a great starting point. So maybe we focus on the customer experience. That's a good starting point. So you were just talking, so from your experience, what advantages do you see for brands, especially for, we are here e-commerce brands mainly. What advantages do you see for e-commerce brands to enter the metaverse?
Yeah, I think, other than creating great experiences for your customers, it's not always fun and games, right? So we do have to target solid business KPIs, and that comes either as sales KPIs or product or brand. And it's like, if you look at the statistics, I was reading the other day, when it comes to Shopify sellers, when they apply 3D assets during in their sales programs, they actually ended up having like 94% conversion rate increase, which is insane. And these are some of the targets that we are after, like how to create better visitor engagement, how to create increased conversion rates so that people can actually turn into a paying customer and enjoy the experience along the way. So there are many different areas that we try to help out our great, pioneer brands to achieve the famous firsts in their industry.
Okay. This always sounds very great, but why isn't Otto or Kleinanzeigen already in the metaverse?
Yeah, why? Yeah,
why?
Let's talk about this.
Do you want to start? I think it's kind of hard to grasp still. It's kind of hard to grasp, not just for us, but also for, I think, the consumer. And I think what you just said, what we have to put in the center of our attention is, where's the added value for the consumer? And because right now, I think the perception is still that it's kind of an exclusive topic for a very small group of consumers, for a certain age group, for people with certain preferences. And for us, as a platform brand, to try to cater to a very, very broad target group, we say we sell to people from 18 to 99. We don't want to exclude anybody. We want to be accessible for everybody. So, of course, we have to look at it from that perspective and ask ourselves, okay, if we want to go into the space, first of all, we have to understand it. I think that's also one of the big things that we still have to do. And then to understand, okay, where can we really create a real added value for our consumers, and not just, have kind of a flash in the pan situation where you have a nice story to tell and a nice hype, but to, create something that can also be sustainable.
So for you, too much.
Can I just add on that?
I think it's go ahead.
I think it's a great point when you talk about consumers, because today, I guess it's 40% of the consumer market population is made up by Gen Zers, right? And if you combine it with millennials, now we're talking about half of the consumer market is actually dominated by these, younger audience, so to say. And the future of internet will be also used by them. So that's why I think it makes sense for the brands to understand, okay, what they're after, and I feel like usually the product is the byproduct. They are really after the experiences, so it's not like click and buy, but it's more experience, interact and buy. So how to create that? So Metaverse is not necessarily like a virtual silo. It's more how to integrate it to your business and create a great experience for your customers.
I think that's exactly the point. So, what you have to find basically how these channels or means, because in the end, it's at this point in time, Metaverse is just a channel. It's not a infrastructure yet. So how does it how does it enhance actually the core of your brand? And there are already quite good examples. Like we were talking about just formerly the H&M case, which was presented half an hour ago. I think, you know, H&M being a company that is about democratizing fashion totally makes sense for them to actually, you know, deliver a collection in the metaverse that is then available and viewable and really approachable from everyone without any barriers. Or let's say another case like Deutsche Telekom, who is about connecting people, and they discovered basically that there is a true correlation between them understanding their customer needs, or a perceived understanding of their customer needs, and basically the sales of their offers, which led them to actually stage public concerts in the metaverse and create this togetherness basically in the virtual space. It absolutely fits the brand and combines it. So in the case of Kleinanzeigen, we are also about connecting people. So basically, if you go at a party, is what we talked about previously, and I say I work at Kleinanzeigen, you always see this spark in people's eyes, because everyone has had some kind of experience with the platform, and it's always about people. It's always about the human interaction. And now you can say, okay, if we have two people that are interested in Fender guitars, one of them is selling the Fender guitar and the other one wants to buy the Fender guitar, then basically if they meet and they have a common jam session just to test the guitar, then basically this is the spark that we are looking for. And you could say, okay, that happens on a local level, but it can also, we can democratize that, right? So basically we can also make it happen. Two people, one of them is in Munich and the other one is in Hamburg. That's where the magic starts to happen. So that's the proximity case. Now, we also get letters from our clients, from our customers saying, you know, you're my favorite platform because I met my wife on your platform over selling a cupboard, right? Would they have fallen in love with each other if they had met in the metaverse and both of them were looking like Lego people? I don't know, you know? So basically, in this case, the metaverse would actually create distance, right? So, and we need to distinguish between these use cases and find what it's there to enhance and where it should be left out of the game, right?
For us, it's actually, sorry, may I just add? For us, it's kind of the other way around, because we don't have a physical space. We only have our space online. So for us, it's actually, we look at it from the other perspective, because it would actually enable us to create something where people can connect, even if it's only on in a different world, on a digital world. But still, actually, I think that is something that really, we find quite interesting to look at, because it will create this opportunity to create also maybe some emotional experience in that sense, more than just, you know, shopping online and doing the stuff that you always do online. So
I wanted to mention this as well, because you're absolutely right. Kleinanzeigen is very special because you have these personal connections in the end of the transaction every time. But when you look at all the e-commerces today, when you look at Otto or you look at Amazon, and all the e-commerce platforms have the same user experience. It's always that you have a page with blocks with the products and a filter on the left side, and you have a checkout which is optimized and optimized and optimized. But when you look at the real world, you have these different kind of experience. There are outlet stores, but there are also shopping malls, and there are pop-up stores and everything. And I mean, this is mainly your business. I can imagine that there is a future of a more beautiful web where we have other experiences that are maybe not that optimized for a quick purchase, but create this experience around a brand. And when you, Iskra, maybe I ask you, because you have the benefit that you have these personal connections, but when you wouldn't have these personal connections, would you say this could be a thing to create a new kind of experience around the brand?
Yeah, so as I said, we want to be able to connect people also over a longer distance. This is a big benefit because we know that, for example, 60%, that's quite a big number, 60% of people using Kleinanzeigen actually ship So it's just local trade is actually only 40% of what our connections are comprised of. But as I said, how do you enhance one, but not prevent the other? Yeah. So that's the sweet spot, and I don't think we have discovered how to do that yet. But yes, a virtual space where the Fender guitar case can happen in the metaverse, let's do it, right? It's just, if the other person is living next door, I would rather have them meet in their apartment, and really have this human connection that cannot be 100% transferred into the metaverse.
But again, it's not mutually exclusive, right? So it could go hand in hand. So, and that's what we are trying to achieve also at Journee. When we start to look into client cases, we always start from the experience, because in the end of the day, the end user, they don't care which tool or which AI or which system you're using. They only care about what I'm getting here. And if they are going to give you their most valuable thing, and that's their time, we have to really treat it carefully. So, because we're not in the madman era, so to say, so people don't want to just slap with a lot of content coming from right and left, but they want to enjoy their time in that branded space, whether it's the website, whether it's the virtual space, whichever branded space. So they just want to enjoy their time. And the other day I was reading the Netflix CEO's quote, and he said, well, our competitor is actually Nike Swoosh as well, because we're both fighting for the entertaining time, and that's how we need to maybe think. So how do we redefine our business, where it starts, where it ends, and how can we really enhance our customers' experience or their way of perceiving our business in the end of the day. So that's why we don't call it metaverse anymore. We more say immersive spaces, because it can be both in the physical world, like how can we create those very exciting touch points with your customer, and it could also be in the, virtual space, as long as we integrate it back to your business or your e-commerce site. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't agree more. So basically we are all everyone is fighting for the same wallet of time and for the same wallet of money, right? So we want to make sure that you're as entertaining as possible, right? So basically this is the rule that we have been following in all other areas where we make our brand available, right? So we have a weekly sitcom called The Kleinanzeigen Fletcher on an ancient platform called YouTube. And this is what we have noticed, that if we manage to entertain people, they would give us as a present quite substantial amounts of their time, right? And basically then we give them the experience of our brand just alongside, without crying, sell, buy all the time. So that is something that I can very well imagine in the metaverse to happen. And for that, actually, I find also the way we do it on YouTube is really work with creators together. So I find the idea very interesting to actually work with metaverse creators together who really know what are the trends, how do people navigate there, what are users expecting to see there, and really basically dock on the real people that can actually enhance your experiences as a brand, right?
Okay, let's jump to the next topic. Can you imagine to create a deeper connection to your consumers by AI?
I can start. I think when it comes to AI, it's also all about reading the patterns, coming up with more personalized, intelligent recommendations to your customers, and which will be highly appreciated, obviously, and especially for the luxury brands, because luxury customers, they really want to feel that connection. They want to feel that exclusivity, and they want to have more kind of say in the room and in the brand's journey. So I think with these type of tools, you can definitely create those great engaging experiences. But when it comes to AI leveraged metaverse spaces, now we're talking about next level, which we'll come back to that. Okay, start with the AI.
I would basically just add to what I just said before. I think for us it would be a great tool to form a deeper connection to our customers, because as you said, right now it's kind of a standard experience that we see online with e-commerce, and there's really not much difference between a lot of platforms in the experience. Of course, we use AI already to make, to help people find the products they're looking for in a short period of time, etc. But that's also kind of market standard. So of course, this would give us a great opportunity, together with the partners that are selling on our platform, to create very special moments and situations, customized to what our clients or our customers are looking for, of course. And as I said before, what the icing on the cake would then also have some kind of emotional connect. And I mean, what we see in this whole metaverse situation is, it's kind of endless opportunities, and you can, connect to other spaces as well. So I do believe that there's a big leverage in there, but yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know right now how to approach this today. So I think there's still a lot of research to do in that sense.
I think you already approach it so well, because the question always starts from what ifs. Like, what if we can manage that, or create a better engagement, or I think as long as we have that mindset, we're going to have a great conversation. We're going to think together about your business's what ifs and find the best solution possible. Yeah. I hope.
Probably.
Yeah, I think with the rise of now generative AI and like all of the technologies that we couldn't have talked about 2 years ago because they were just not there yet, and now everyone is using them in just a couple of months. I think we are heading towards kind of a hyper personalization, right? So anything's possible. We can create any kind of creative for literally everyone to consume individually and stuff like that. And you know what? This is a little bit terrifying me. So we know what this type of thinking has done within the social media platforms that we know, right? Within Facebook, within Twitter, X, and so forth, and where this is leading us. We know the kind of radicalization that this is creating. And I really see that also being a danger for this whole world of generative AI. I was happy to see that basically the concept or the tool that you were presenting actually already foresees things like diversity, things like, don't enhance or like overstress stereotypes and stuff like that. Because if we're not careful about that, this is where we are heading full speed. And this is very dangerous. Like, why would you want to show to people exactly what they want? You are then killing the magic of life, So you're killing the romance of life. You want to show people maybe not exactly what they want and bring them to completely new ideas, And this is what we are running the danger of now, really, killing in a way. And I'm very worried about that.
What would be your reaction, Ann-Kathrin?
I'm not as worried yet, but maybe that's also due to the fact that I, haven't, dived far enough. But what I think where we have to probably rethink is our approach to how to approach metaverse now, because in what Iska said, if we would have talked about this a year ago, I don't think we could have grasped what happened within the last 12 months, how accessible AI has become to a very broad audience. So, we kind of had this expectation of, the hype curve that you showed us, Burkhard, metaverse still far away, 10 years away. I think we might have to rethink that and, ask ourselves, looking back in the last 12 months, this might happen more quickly than we currently expect. So I think we do have to, proactively approach this now and have a look at it and understand it in order to be able to, have the answers, or at least be able to make a decision in the near future once we see that there's, a real traction coming onto that topic.
So you are the Metaverse expert, and we now know that next year the Apple Vision Pro is coming.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. So looking at this, nearly every time when Apple launched a consumer product, it really changed the landscape. What would you say? What's your prediction? How is this going to change e-commerce, or is this even changing e-commerce?
Yeah, I was again reading the other day. Apparently, Tim Cook is already using it for 3 hours a day. That's wonderful. I think it's going to really change the face of, like, for the e-commerce, like the shopping experience. When it comes to product visualization, when it comes to creating all these touch points in the sales journey.
Virtual pop-up rooms.
Yeah, virtual pop-up rooms, definitely. And definitely much more personalized experiences. And I feel like you're not going to be bordered by the screen, right? So you have this like enlarged canvas, so to say, for the experiences that you want to create as a brand. So I see that Apple Vision Pro plus spatial computing, immersive web solutions, it's like the new era for the future of entertainment, for definitely e-commerce, for health and fitness. So like it's definitely, I mean, I'm super excited, obviously, for that launch. And you should definitely check out Disney's CEO's recent comments on the Apple Vision Pro. So just to get an idea of what's happening in the film industry.
Maybe they are a little biased.
Maybe. Maybe I'm also a little biased. Who knows?
But anyway, I would be really curious if you and your company already have talked about this or thought about this at Otto or at Kleinanzeigen. Is this a thing you are currently talking about?
We're talking more about AR. So I think for us, AR is more of a technology that is quite, it's here.
More accessible?
It's more accessible. It's more accessible for everybody. It's something that we can play with in the on-site experience. It's something we can play with in our campaign. So it's something, it's kind of, more easily accessible for us and also for our consumers. So that's right now, of course, we talk about Apple, but I think AR is something that is much more immediate. Yeah, right now.
We are, to be honest, we are a little bit too small in size as to be a first mover kind of on every trend. So we are observing what's going on, but I don't think that we'll be the first brand to use the Apple Vision. So
maybe Kleinanzeigen will more sell the first versions of Apple Vision Pro when the second version comes out.
Let's see. Yeah.
But
we successfully actually observed and did not do voice, and now it's literally gone. So let's see.
That's interesting. Can I just quickly comment on that?
Please.
Being a first mover or waiting for the others to kind of take the first bite from the apple. Well, ironic. But I think, I was sitting on that side of the table for many years, worked with different, corporate legacy brands. And it is always important to create this like healthy pipeline portfolio of different services, products, to be able to keep the pulse of the markets. Because I think if we compare the innovative solutions with your day-to-day, bread and butter of your business, then those innovations will always be pushed to the back burner. So it's important to have like a separate focus on what's happening, what is the next big leap for my business, and have this tag team, dealing with this, whereas your, current day-to-day business runs full force. So it's, I think, important to have this healthy balance.
I like the argument of Ann-Kathrin that you said you focus more on AI because it's more inclusive, it is accessible on any smartphone, everyone can use this. what would you say about responsibility when it comes to emerging technologies? What kind of challenges and do you see based on your responsibility, talking about sustainability or accessibility? How, I mean, now we are sitting with two very big brands here, or three very big brands together. How do you deal with these challenges and these questions when it comes to innovation? Because we always struggle with, it consumes a lot of energy. This is something new. Do we need this on our planet? How do you deal with these questions?
I think that's a very important one. So in our case, our positioning is really at the intersection of sustainability and affordability. So the sustainability part is massively important. So let's come back to the question, to the example of hyper-personalization. In order to generate this kind of masses of creatives, especially when it comes to maybe moving images and stuff like that, that comes out of the sustainability borders, right? So basically, that would be something that we would pass a no-go on just from our, responsibility position right now. It might change. I don't know. Technologies are evolving, but at the current stage, basically, data mining is a little bit too heavy for us to move in such a direction. Yeah. And on the other hand side, of course, stereotypes, I think, are a big threat. So not everyone is taking this responsibility of, avoiding the CEO not being a woman, but like in 80% of the time, it's a man, a white man, middle-aged. And 80% of the time, if you generate a person working at a fast food restaurant, it's then a black person, right? So basically, we have to avoid these things from the beginning, so to really lay them down in the foundations. And I don't see that happening at scale yet. So,
does someone want to add something?
Yeah, I think for us, the main focus is also sustainability, and it's something we discuss very seriously within the company. And at the same time, I mean, our business model is inherently not, sustainable in that sense. So we really try to do everything we can to weigh the options that we have and to analyze and make an informed decision and a conscious decision of either to go forward with this project or not. Yeah, that's something at the center.
You just mentioned the issue of bias of AI. To just give you a tiny insight, when you just saw the talk before where we presented the AI tool, we thought a lot about this because the AI is very biased, and when you prompt, we had this example of the manager in front of a whiteboard. In the back, we trained it that it automatically works diverse, and not only diverse male and female, but also old and young, and black and white, and everything in between. And that was a tough challenge, but that was very important for us to not accelerate these biases. And as you mentioned, this is very important that we always think about this. So we talked about innovation and what companies need to be innovative. Ilgi, what would you say, what does a company need to become a first mover? It doesn't make sense for every brand. It doesn't make sense for every company to always be the first. But what would you say, what is important, what is necessary to be a first mover, and when does it make sense?
I think it's a great question, and we very briefly touched upon it. I would say everything starts from understanding your brand's DNA, your business and the values, what is valuable for your customer, and taking the small steps towards. So I'm not saying that, okay, you have to invest in whatever the shiny topic, the new tech we're talking about. No, I think it's good to first understand, your territory, which you know much better than us as the tech potential tech partners. But then having that small steps towards it. And I think it's very important to, as we said earlier, create maybe a separate tech team to deal with these big questions and to kind of make it home, so that it's not going to be fluffy, nice to have project, but what are certain metrics that you tie to it so that it's going to be actually valuable for your business. So to summarize, I think small steps, govern it differently, maybe find a tech team and then take it from there. And find good, of course, native partners who can help you with those big questions you might have around the tech.
So maybe we make a look into the future, not too far. As we learned, everything can change very fast within weeks. But maybe we talk about 2 years. What technology do you think will be part of every brand strategy? Will it be Metaverse, maybe because of the Apple Vision Pro? Maybe we don't call it Metaverse, but spatial or immersive web or whatever. Will it be this kind of technology? Will every brand have something like this? Or will it be AI, a fundamental part of every brand strategy? What would you say?
Should I go first?
You can start.
Well, I think it's all about, for me, everything is data and facts. So now, when we look at the consumer market, you have, as we said, Gen Zers, 40% of the market. Together with millennials, they are representing almost more than half of the consumer population. So, and what do they want? And they are digitally native. They, and according to Gartner, they say that 25% of the population in 3 years will spend at least 1 hour in these virtual spaces, working, learning, shopping, interacting, socializing. So I think when you look from that perspective, it doesn't matter which innovation or tech or the backend that you're using, but how to cater to their needs. And it brings me, it's like this fishing analogy, right? So when you go out for fishing, let me tell you so that everyone can understand, you don't give to the fishes like, I don't know, strawberry and cream just because you like it, but you give grasshopper because that's what they are going to react. So it's the same thing. So how to understand your future customer and what they want, and then cater towards that. So that's, I think, in 2 years. I don't know if we're going to call it, as you said, differently, but as long as the need is there, we're going to make sure we pivot our company so that we can cater to that need.
You just mentioned Gartner. I liked your comment. Just one point about Gartner. Last year, they said Gen AI will take 5 to 10 years. So I really struggle with Gartner today.
I'll continue with McKinsey's report. Next chapter, not Gartner.
Sorry.
But I think they all agree on one thing, and that's the next generation and what they want, and the fact that they are digitally native. So it makes sense for the brands to understand, explore the possibilities in the digital arena, as well as in the real.
Ann-Kathrin, next 2 years.
Well, I think it's quite obvious that AI, of course, will be something that it will be present everywhere. And I think there's still so much more to explore. So I think we'll be very busy already trying to, make the most out of all the options that are currently out there in the next 2 years. So I think that's a given. I think the question is, how much will we see the metaverse? And to be very honest, because of what you just mentioned, we have all the models that we used to work with in the past. It's kind of obsolete right now because of what we've observed the last 12 months. So right now, for me, this feels like a bet. So it's really the title of this talk is actually quite perfect because it feels like a bet. I think could be there because it could not be there. So for me right now, this is very much of a 50-50 situation.
It's good to start exploring maybe your bet.
Yeah, I think I can agree, but I think AI, in the meanwhile, it belongs to the infrastructure of things, right? So basically, it's not a choice. It's there. And we'd better use it because it is indeed useful for our customers' experience. About the metaverse, I think it should be coming. It's coming. I really hope that it won't take over. So just for everyone's health, to be honest.
That have been perfect final words. We are done with our panel. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Burkhard.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Burkhard.
Thank
for
you.
the amazing panel. Thank you.